A lot of times when we think about resilience, we think about the construct or the idea of overcoming adversity or some kind of hardship. We might say, this one over here, very resilient. This kiddo's got it. Or maybe this kiddo is not very resilient. As if they're born with it or not born with it. Researchers of resilience caution against the use of that type of language because it implies and suggests that you can't develop resilience. But we know that you can. Our brain is constantly developing pathways related to our emotions, actions, thoughts, a little thing called neuroplasticity. So it's not a have it or don't have it thing, it's an experience it thing. You see, resilience is a fleeting experience. Just like happiness and sadness, it comes and goes. If you put into use resilience skills and strategies, you can experience resilience. But if you have all the resilience skills one can have, and you don't put that to use, you're going to succumb to your circumstances. Even if you have a past of being a resilient person, it's a fleeting experience. It's not guaranteed. You have to put these skills into practice. So what are these skills? They include things like being adaptive, being flexible, being resourceful, having strategies for problem solving, having a sense of purpose that allows you to have some direction when things are challenging, being able to come into contact with positive emotions like joy, happiness, passion, achievement, mastery, a degree of flow. Knowing how to come into contact with these emotions and experiences supports our experience of resilience. So how do we go about developing these skills and learning them? One way is through play. Play allows us to practice and rehearse the skills and strategies that help us better solve and meet the demands of bigger problems in our life. Imagine when you learn to play an instrument. First thing you start out doing, creativity, improvisation, banging on keys. Eventually that comes into a degree of flow or commitment when you want to master that craft. Serves as a sense of purpose when it becomes very meaningful to you. Those same qualities of creativity and improvisation support you when you need to come up with a solution, a novel outcome. What about when we play games or make believe? We learn to take turns. We learn to be adaptive when we're negotiating with our friends on what rules are fair and what rules aren't fair. We're able to connect with somebody else and figure out how to put yourself in their shoes so that they have an equitable experience. What about when we play sports? I'm sure we can all think of occasions and movies where individuals showed amazing resilience for the pursuit to play something that they love, for that intrinsic joy that they get from being on the water to row, chasing a soccer ball, diving on the ground for a grounder up the middle. That desire to play supports our resilience. When I think about resilience and play, I think about a story of a friend of mine told me about his son who got one of those Razor scooters from his grandma. And they lived near a hill, and his kiddo would go up and down the hill about 20 times over, having a blast. And then on the 21st time, he wanted to go really fast. So he got kicking on that scooter, and of course, crashed, bang, right in front of my buddy. My buddy thought to himself, well, we can handle this a number of different ways. But he didn't want his son to attach quitting and stopping with adversity and challenge. And so he said, okay, we can go inside like you want, but I need you to go up that hill one more time. And so his son went up the hill one more time and came back down and kept doing it over and over for the rest of the day. And I thought to myself, that was an experience of resilience for that kiddo. And kids don't always know when they can be resilient. Sometimes that little push helps them get there. But also, if he had gone inside and called it a day, but then came out the next day that's also an experience of resilience. It's just later. Both are tied to that desire to play. So when you think about your resilience skills and the skills of those around you and the kiddos in your life, think about how play feeds your resilience, because you don't have to suffer through adversity and hardship to experience resilience. You can play your way to resilience. Thank you.